Hello, good day, and welcome back to Coding with V. And today we're going to take a look at the Ollama commands and try to understand what they do, what you can use them for, and get familiar with them. All right, let's get to it. So if you go to command line and you type Ollama, and again, this doesn't matter whether you're Windows, Linux, or Mac. So what I'm showing you works anywhere. You'll see a list of subcommands that Ollama support. And the first one we're going to look at is Ollama help. That's help subcommand. And you can see if you type Ollama help, then you can get essentially the same thing when you type just Ollama alone. So Ollama and Ollama help give you the same thing. But then you can use the help command to specify which command you want help with. So I could say Ollama help list, for example, and it tells me exactly what a list command, what options I could pass the help to list. Now, if I type Ollama list, as list being the subcommand, it lists all of the models I currently pulled or have available on my system. So you see, I have about, 10 or 15 models here. Doesn't matter if you don't have this many, you should have at least one because that's what we use. And if you remember, we got there by going to the Ollama website, clicking on models, we see the list of models, and then we downloaded one. So today I'm going to click on Gemma 3, for example. There's a model from Google, and you can see you can type Ollama run Gemma 3, and that would actually pull the model and run it. But we're just going to do the operations separately so we can learn the subcommands. And so what I'm going to do is go back to my command line, and I'm going to type Ollama space pull and then geometry. And this is now going to pull the model Gemma 3 to my computer, making it available for me to use. I do not have geometry yet, so it's going to pull it. Now notice I type :4b. That's because I want the 4 billion parameter model. If I did not type :4b, it would do Gemma latest, which might be the 7 billion or the 8 billion, depending on which one is their default for latest. So it's going to pull that down. Now that I have the model on my computer, now I can say Ollama list again, and you can see in the list, I should now see that Gemma 3 model as another model on my system because I pulled it. Now that I have that model on my system, I can do Ollama run Gemma 3 :4b. Notice I have to put the :4b because that's the full name of this model with the label. And once the model is up and running, and depending on the speed of the system, it might take different amount of time to load this model. That's why I pull a small model, because small model loads quickly. And I say hello, and it's been back some messages to me. Then now I'm going to ask it to do a task for me. I'm going to ask the model if it can please write a Golang program for me, a simple web API. And again, depending on the speed of your system, how big model you use, the output is going to be more complicated. Worry about if you can read this right now, because we're going to use a UI for Ollama, which is going to be able to understand this markdown and show you the code properly. So this is in markdown, that's why it has the star and so on. Once the model finish writing its output, I say thanks. You don't have to, but I do. and then I don't know why it's taking so long to process my thanks. Maybe it was like surprised, like, hey, why are you saying thanks? I don't know, but just kidding about that. And so now I can type /by to exit Ollama interactive interface. If I type Ollama PS, which is one of the other subcommand, you can see, show you which model it has loaded, essentially running. And it tell you that 4 minutes from now, it's going to stop this model. But if we wanted to, let's say, start another model, or we're tight on memory, because remember this is loaded into your memory, or whether it's CPU memory or graphics card memory, I can actually type Ollama stop, and then again the name of the model, in this case is Gemma 3 :4b, and notice it stopped immediately. We'll try to unload it as quickly as possible. Depending on how big the model is, it might take a little bit more time, but now when I run Ollama PS, we can see that that model is no longer there. So I did automatically, it would have unloaded it in 4 to 5 minutes. But if, again, I want to unload it faster, I can just do stop. The last thing I want to show you is the serve command. So let's type Ollama help serve. And it doesn't matter what all these options are. We're not going to talk about those right now, but notice that you can, for serve, you can start the server. Now you never have to explicitly start the server. It's going to start by itself. And here's how you can see. One, if you look at the top of my computer there, you'll see the Ollama icon running. If you look in Windows, you'll see the same thing. Linux, you don't have that. But if you go to a web browser and you type localhost : 11434, which is the default port for Ollama running locally, essentially it's going to say Ollama is running. Or you can do it from the command line, curl space localhost : 11434 and enter, and you should see the same thing. Or if you're using HTTP IE, you can just type HTTP space : 11434, enter, and you should see the same thing. And there are other subcommands that we're not going to go over. All right, that's it for this video. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up. If you have suggestions or anything I can do better, please leave feedback. Otherwise, let me know if you had problems with which model you pulled, what response you got back from the model. If this is not your first time here and you're not a subscriber, please consider being a subscriber. Just hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you know when I post video. If you are already a subscriber, thank you so much. Take care. Bye.